I'm going to start out with a quote from Jim Rohn that a lot of you are probably familiar with, but it basically states that if you're not willing to risk the usual in life, you'll probably have to settle for the ordinary. And I don't know about you guys, but I've not met a lot of individuals in my short, brief time here on the earth that go out there into the world looking to settle for the ordinary or looking for mediocrity, right? You know, most of us, usually we have big dreams. You know, when we're graduating from high school, we're graduating from university, we have a lot of dreams that we want to achieve, a lot of goals that we want to accomplish in life. For some reason, over time, those dreams tend to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and we start to accept what the reality of the world is. And here at Activz, honestly, we're all about activating your potential, activating everybody that surrounds us, their true potential, and truly restoring people's ability to dream like we did when we were younger, when anything and everything was possible and we were unstoppable. Because reality is, with the right vehicle, there is literally nothing that we can't accomplish. And Activz is just that, a vehicle to allow you to reach your dreams, your goals that you have in life, and live the lifestyle that you and your families deserve at the end of the day. So first challenge right out of the gates here is to not settle for the ordinary and be willing to risk a little bit in life. You know what I mean? A mentor of mine once told me that if you're not willing to risk certain things in life, the chances of achieving your goals and reaching your dreams, it's very difficult, slim to none, probability-wise. So we'll start out with that, and let's talk about a lot of people out there in the world, a lot of smart individuals, a lot of hardworking individuals, people that have put in their time, they've done their study, they've done their research, they've gone to school, they've done everything right, but a lot of hardworking, smart individuals that are just getting by, living paycheck to paycheck, month to month on a fixed budget. How many people out there do you guys know, or amongst yourselves personally, could pick up tomorrow without giving anybody any heads up, pick up tomorrow and take the family on vacation to Europe, to wherever, but for an entire month, for 4 complete weeks, without a care in the world, without worrying about how the bills are going to get paid, whether or not you're going to have a job or not when you get back from that vacation, and so forth. Once again, we're talking about a very small percentage of the population, and that's the kind of lifestyle that we're looking to promote and activate here with Activz. Because it truly isn't fair that so many hardworking people with so much potential, with so many incredible ideas, simply are missing the right vehicle to take them to the level of success that they desire for them and their families. And most people, it's not about whether or not they're willing to put in the sweat equity, whether they're willing to work hard for it or not. Most people that I've interviewed, that I've sat down with, successful and otherwise, everybody's willing to put the effort in. Most often the problem is, or the missing piece of the equation is, the proper vehicle to take them to that level of success through their hard work, energy, and efforts that they're putting in. So with that said, I want to introduce everybody to Activz. And so when we look at Activz as a vehicle that can help you activate that level of lifestyle or that level of income in your life, why Activz? What sets it aside? What makes it different? What are some of the key differentiators? First and foremost, we look at the team that we've brought together. You know, when you talk about in the sports world, bringing together the dream team, here at Activz, we have quite literally brought together, the best of the best in our space, in our industry. We're talking about direct selling. We're talking about network marketing industry. And so we're talking about individuals that are committed to bringing the best of the best, scientifically validated and unique products to the marketplace that can help you activate your life and activate key bodily functions, vital bodily functions, actually. Talking about a team that has extensive experience in starting up successful companies. So just to give you guys one example, our CEO, David Brown, we're talking about an individual that has been the CEO of companies with the likes of like Metabolife and taken them to well over 500 and at times even $800 million top line revenue companies, significant size companies. Former CEO as well of a company called LifeVantage, taking the company in just 4 and a half short years from literally ground zero, nothing, to doing over $230 million in top line revenue in just a short amount of time, just a handful of years. Individuals like our president of Activz, Ryan Thompson, with nearly 3 decades of experience in the network marketing space, the network marketing arena, taking companies and growing them at record paces. I'm talking $40+ million first year, something unheard of in the industry, really. So we're talking about record-breaking sales, a team that's come together and they want to do it right this time. They want to do things different, but for the right reasons. John McGarry, our Vice President of Sales, once again, 2 decades or over 2 decades of experience in the direct sales and network marketing industries, been master distributor before in previous companies and has worked on the corporate side for a tremendous amount of time, bringing all this team together to do something truly special here at Activz, to create an opportunity where people that perhaps in the past frustrated have tried to work in the network marketing industry have not been able to make it. We're creating an opportunity that truly does represent an opportunity for the masses, not just for a few select privileged individuals out there, which is typically the case in the network marketing space or in our industry, right? Timing as well. We're sitting right at the brinks. We're in a pre-launch phase, building up to our official launch here in the United States in just a few short months. So timing here in the United States, the largest market in the entire industry by far here in the United States. We have not even launched it yet. We're building up to that, bringing on key team members and looking for the right individuals to play instrumental roles as distributors, as members during this pre-launch phase. And so that's why we're talking this evening, and that's why this call is so very important this evening. A compensation plan, so if we're looking down here, a compensation plan designed to spread or distribute the wealth, the percentage of income, of earnings through our compensation plan to all levels of distributors. In most cases, most compensation plans, only the top ranks are earning what I refer to as life-changing income, and we've spread that out so you start to earn significant life-changing income. And even if it's just supplemental part-time income initially, it's significant enough at our mid to lower ranks here because of some global profit sharing and rev share programs that we've put together that are unprecedented in this space, in the network marketing arena, and the fact that we are literally the only company currently that is working with an omni-channel distribution sales system, and we'll talk a little more in depth about that in a couple more slides here. So I want to get started off with our product offerings, but I want you guys to understand what kind of products we're bringing to the marketplace. Down here, if we jump straight to the bottom of this slide, it says product development strategy. Products capable of activating and optimizing key functions within our body. We're talking about functionality that already exists within our body, something our body already does innately, but over time it loses its ability to be able to at least effectively perform those functions. So just before I even start to talk about the product offerings, I want you guys to kind of set that into your minds. We're not talking about supplemental type products, rather products that both activate and optimize already existing functionality within our body and within our core vital systems within the human body, right? So back to the top of the slide here, aging and genetics. So the quote here, 70 to 90% of disease risk is related to your environment exposures and the resultant alterations in the molecules that influence genetic expression. In other words, how our DNA or how our genes express themselves in their products, right? So that's saying essentially that 70 to as much as 90%, there's not a fixed statistic on there that they've nailed down, but the vast majority of our health is dependent upon what? Our environment, what we breathe every day, what we eat every day, and how we are taking care of our bodies, our lifestyles. Everything plays a role, unlike, antiquated theories that the vast majority of our health, or at least a significant percentage or portion of our health, was wholly reliant upon our genetics. A lot of people, and I can't tell you how many people I've heard say, my dad, he had heart conditions. And so, chances are I'm probably going to end up with high blood pressure and with cholesterol issues and with triglyceride issues and so on and so forth. But the reality is we can do so much more to impact our health than what genetics alone does. And we take it even a step further. Now we're able to work at the genetic level through powerful formulas to be able to actually influence how our genes are expressing themselves. So while we're not looking at changing the genetic code, we are looking at influencing how they express themselves. So with that said, I want to go through a little bit of an exercise here. I want everybody on the call tonight to stop and just think for just a few brief seconds of the year when you guys turned 20. Now, I don't know if we have any 20-year-olds or young people on the call tonight, but just think about when you were 20. I want you to think about how you felt in general, your energy levels, about your recovery capabilities, about your vitality in general. I mean, how did you feel? Most of us at 20, I mean, we're invincible. We have an abundant amount of energy, right? Typically, we don't worry about our health when we're 20. You know, we're not running around crazy worried about what does our blood sugar levels look like, or, you know, our blood pressure, or triglyceride levels, or, you know, worried about a heart attack or an aneurysm or whatever the case might be. At 20, typically we feel good. We have lots of energy. Nothing hurts, right, for the most part, as far as aches and pains, joints and arthritis and stuff is concerned, okay? And we're not worried about our health. In other words, we're not worried about diseases or disease processes or anything like that. And it's not because we take real good care of ourselves when we're 20 years old or when we're young. You stop and you think about what's the average diet or the typical diet for the average 20-year-old, you know, college-age individual going to school in America. We're talking about burritos. We're talking about hamburgers, French fries, Coca-Cola. We're talking about abusing our body, staying up late, not getting sufficient rest, probably not exercising as much as we should. So literally abusing our bodies, yet at the same time, our body is capable of taking care of itself and maintaining our bodies intact and healthy, right? I mean, so even though we're abusing it, it's taking care of itself, because the reality is the following. Our bodies were designed at the cellular level, at the most basic level, even the nuclear level within our cells. Our bodies were designed to heal and take care of themselves. And so here at Activz, and you even pick up on that in the name of our company, Activz, it's all about how can we create stand apart, incredible formulas capable not of supplementing something the body needs or that it's lacking over time, rather activating the ability of our body, the innate ability of our body to heal itself and to perform, optimize, and perform proper functionality like when we were younger. Imagine being able to turn back on your body's own innate, natural, inherent ability to heal itself like when you were 20 or 15 or 18 years old. That's what we're talking about doing here at Activz, creating products through our product development strategy capable of activating and optimizing key core bodily functions at every level. And you'll see that with our flagship product link. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump to the next slide, hopefully. And all this centers around a new area of research within science in the medical community called epigenetics. And taking the direct Latin roots, so the first part of the word epigenetics, epi literally means above or in control of our genetics. Going back to that quote on the previous slide, 70 to as much as 90% of our health is relying upon what we're doing. You know, how we're being exposed to different toxins and pollutants and so forth. But like it says here, the direct definition of epigenetics, this arena in which we are focusing our research and development of our flagship products and our product offerings, is the study of changes, where's my mouse? The study of changes in organisms caused by the modification of gene expression. So that's the key, the modification of gene expression rather than the alteration of the genetic code itself. So we're talking about a process of regulation, being able to go in and influence different specific genes, right? And groups or families of genes in our DNA, and turning on and off switches that allow our body to produce mechanisms, what I guess I'd refer to as our own natural defense mechanisms that our bodies produce very well when we were young. But as we age, our body's ability to produce these natural defense mechanisms, it decreases drastically over time. And with each passing decade, the ability of our bodies to protect itself specifically at the cellular level decreases significantly. And so we're talking about going back in and turning on that switch, turning on, sending the signal to our DNA, to our genes to express themselves and start to upregulate the production of some of these natural protective systems within our body. So with that said, I want to introduce everybody to Link, our flagship product here in the United States, what we refer to both internally and publicly as cellular or cell jet fuel. Jet fuel for your cells, because we're talking about both clinically and scientifically proven and heavily or thoroughly rather vetted product in science that's been proven to increase metabolism, improve brain function, improve your gut function, okay? And because it's improving gut function, what we're now referring to as our second brain, it has a significant impact in so many areas of our health, even in our mental health, because it's 90 to 95% of the neurotransmitters, for example, like serotonin, like GABA and others, that are produced or manufactured in our gut and then transported up to the brain. And so our second brain or our gut plays such a vital role in our overall health. In fact, I recently reread a book, very interesting. The book's been out for quite some time. It's called Lessons from the Miracle Doctors, but the whole consensus, general consensus or theme of the book is that death, aging, and every single disease and illness known to mankind in one way, shape, or form begins in the gut. So the reality is we can help out all sorts of other areas of our body, but if our gut is not in proper order, proper working order, then we're going to see issues in other areas of our health, right? Also been proven to regulate the immune system, the immune function. 70+% of our immune system actually functions within the gut, interestingly enough. Regulates inflammation, and also we see a lot of benefits outwardly in our skin, right? So that's our flagship product, Link. I'm not going to get into great detail on the product, but we're seeing incredible results with a lot of people. But once again, we're talking about a product that is changing lives already just during this pre-launch phase, and it's just a part of this vehicle called Activz that can help you achieve the dreams that you're looking at. One of the primary active components of the Link formula is something called butyric acid or butyrate. We're talking about an element that has decades, literally decades and decades of research, over 20 documented direct benefits derived from the uptake of butyric acid, exclusive patent pending process that's built into Link specifically, that is exclusive to and unique to Link, to our product, that allows it to be more bioavailable, first of all, but also allows us to unlock the potential of this butyric acid and the entire Link formula within the part of the intestine where it's most beneficial. So we see less and less degradation as it moves through the digestive system, through the esophagus and down into the stomach where it's highly acidic, into the top part of our intestine, until we get deep into what we refer to as our microbiome or gut, where it can truly be beneficial. We can reap the benefits of this butyric acid. One interesting quote, and there's a lot of them out there about butyric acid specifically. This is from Dr. Mark Hyman, director of Cleveland Clinic Center for Functional Medicine, okay, and also New York Times best-selling author, but not so much to promote him, but just so you guys can get an idea of how this is really leading the charge in the future of a lot of preventative and functional type medicine approaches. With butyric acid specifically, he refers to them as those good guys produce what we call short-chain fatty acids, which provide your colon cells fuel. Butyrate, or butyric acid, is one such fatty acid which can prevent cancer, in his opinion, speed up your metabolism, and also reduce inflammation, which we know is at the root of many chronic illnesses. Doing this heals your gut while preventing leaky gut that drives food allergies, inflammation, as well as weight gain. So just some of the benefits that other individuals have been seeing with our flagship product, Link. And so that's all about beauty from within, right? Healing ourselves from within. We see that reflected on the outside, but we didn't stop there. We took it a step further. We also wanted to approach it from the outside. So we refer to kind of as an inside-outside approach. Link attacking the issue from the inside outside, and we see that on the outside. And then also our Amora skincare line, like it says, be beautiful, be you, attacking the problem, because there's no shame in wanting to both feel good as well as also look good. So our Amora skincare line currently consists of 3 primary products. Our purifying mud that you apply 2 to maximum 3 times a week. It exfoliates and also purifies your skin with unique, specific, natural, active ingredients. Our Essence Toner, which moisturizes and tones the skin while refining the look of pores and leaving the skin texture feeling nice and smooth. And then our Rejuvenating Serum, which is designed specifically to plump and brighten skin, leaving it feeling moisturized and refreshed. One of the interesting things about the skincare line, unlike most skincare lines that have very little clinical data on it, is we already have research on this Amora skincare line proving that it activates what we refer to as collagen synthesis, our body's ability to produce its own natural collagen, which of course we know collagen, that's what, you know, is responsible for the plumpness and the youthful look in our skin. And so we already have data showing that it induces that collagen synthesis. And so that's pretty incredible. So we're taking care of ourselves from the inside out, from the outside in with these 2 products. We're going to the US market, and you're sitting ground floor right now to be able to take the message of these incredible products to the world, but it gets better and better and better. So like it says here, we're leading the way with the most advanced life-activating products available and continuing to engineer products designed to optimize human potential. Right now we're developing, it's in, you know, the research and development phase, but getting very, very close, a product that is gonna be absolutely incredible for pain, for inflammation, so on and so forth. Not gonna go into any details there, but we are attracting, with the research that we've been able to bring to the table, attracting the likes of incredible individuals in their own right from several different walks of life and professions to our Activz advisory board. One such member of our Activz advisory board is Dr. Joseph C. Maroon, one of the foremost leading, even preeminent neurosurgeons in the United States, currently working with the Pittsburgh Steelers, if I'm not mistaken, as their team official neurosurgeon, dealing with different kind of head trauma and so forth with the NFL there and that professional team. And so the fact that we've been able to attract him because of the research backing products such as Link is absolutely incredible. They're excited about what this means for the future of functional medicine and how we can improve the lives of so many people. Completely different arena, not doctor, but Vice Admiral Matt Winters, an active sitting Vice Admiral in the U.S. Navy, because he's so excited about the potential, even application within the Navy, within the armed services and so forth with our products. Absolutely excited. Dr. Rish Patel, medical doctor, as well as Dr. Brett Earl, who is instrumental in bringing together the Link formula, also a medical doctor. And that's just the beginning of the build out of what will be a very robust advisory board as we move forward to make sure we're taking the company in the right directions at all times. And so probably one of the things I'm most excited about, guys, is the fact that at its core, Activz as a company is not exclusively a network marketing or direct sales company as we know it today, rather an omni-channel marketing and distribution model or system or company, right? Unlike many companies in our space currently, we recognize that there's a lot of growing and changing trends in our worldwide interconnected economy, right? We recognize the fact that, hey, it's not by coincidence that the owner of Amazon is now, you know, one of the richest individuals in the world. We recognize the important role that e-commerce, that social media, and also social media influencers play in our global economy, right? And in commerce in general, as well as mass media out there that's traditional mass media, although I'll tell you what, I mean, more and more we're seeing this become less and less effective. When we're talking about television, we're talking about radio and so forth. I mean, you'll see people time and time again watching a program on TV, and they're watching it intently, and the second that a commercial comes on, watch it and see it in your own families. Second the commercial comes on, everybody goes to their device. And so we're seeing this as less and less effective, and social media as well as e-commerce and other online marketing campaigns are far, far more effective than traditional marketing efforts, right? But we're talking about really setting a new standard and leading out the future of marketing networks with this omni-channel system and approach. So with that said, I'm not going to say a whole lot. I actually want to share a quick video. It's about a 4-minute video. And after that, we're going to go ahead and jump into the opportunity on the financial side with Activz here. So,
do you remember the moment you realized that the world had changed? Let me tell you a quick little story that has nothing and everything to do with the future of our world and how you fit into it. In 1917, the United States faced a huge problem. They were working hard to compete in the industrialized economy, and there was a shortage. Not a shortage of oil or coal or other natural resources, a shortage of people, specifically obedient factory workers. The solution to this economic dilemma? It was an experiment of sorts. It hadn't been done before, until someone thought of it. Mandatory public school. Unfortunately, the initial purpose of the United States public school system was not to inspire children or generate scholars. And it wasn't created for dreamers, people who color outside the lines, break the rules, and challenge the status quo. The public school system of the early 1900s was invented to create a nation full of adults who would obediently do their jobs in the factory assembly lines. Teaching kids to sit in straight rows and scheduling the entire day with the ringing of bells wasn't by chance. Punishing those who didn't conform was purposeful. These were the skills they would need to join the labor force. Intentional or not, this early method of turning dreamers into workers was an investment in the nation's economic future. And it worked. This then led to several generations of productive, fully employed workers. But it isn't working anymore. Why? Our economy has changed. We don't live in an industrialized economy anymore. We live in a connected economy. Right now, there are more users on Facebook than there were people on the planet 200 years ago. Technology has made it possible for us to connect with people, ideas, and information from anywhere in the world instantaneously. And as a result, our economies have expanded from localized towns and communities to the entire world. We have globalized trade in nearly every way. In the past, the obedient, do-what-you're-told without question people were rewarded for working hard and putting their dreams aside in order to toe the line. They were given well-paying jobs that led to long-term careers. They were guaranteed pensions, benefits, and the promise that they would always be taken care of. And they were. But that promise is gone for most of us today. Even if you have a white-collar job, the majority of white-collar workers are still working in a factory. Instead of operating a sewing machine or welding a widget, they now push pencils, type on keyboards, or process paperwork. It's still factory work because the entire focus of the day is spent on increasing productivity, which leaves little room for creativity, spontaneity, or individuality. The educated, hard-working masses are still doing what they're told, but they're no longer getting what they deserve. Even if you do everything you are told to do today, graduate from high school, go to college, get a degree, work hard in whatever job you can find, if you're lucky enough to find one, you're not guaranteed anything. Companies are being forced to change or die right now. Layoffs happen much more often than job openings appear, and the highest paying jobs are disappearing or heading overseas at an alarming rate. If you have a job where your boss tells you exactly what to do, he or she will always find someone cheaper than you to do it. Did you know that the average length of a job today is about 4.5 years? Contrast that to the 1960s when it was 40 years. The connected economy rewards a different group of people. It rewards the people who see things differently, who don't conform, people who have ideas that no one else has, people who are willing to work hard but know that the old way of doing things is broken. The connected economy rewards you not for being a cog in the wheel of life, but for standing up and reaching out. The connected economy rewards the connectors. Whether it's connecting a person to a person, a business to a business to a product, or a product to a person, those who learn how to connect are the ones who will survive and excel in the connected economy. That is how the world has changed. It's not about to change. It already has. Things are different now, and they're not going back to the way they used to be. Look at Facebook. What's their product? It's you. Your network, your information, your ideas, they all have value. Does Facebook pay you for the money they make selling your information to advertisers? No. But we still use it because we have an innate desire to connect with people. In fact, neuroscientists have found that we are actually hardwired to connect with each other. Some people know how to leverage this innate ability in today's economy, but most don't. And because they don't know how to do it, most of them are paralyzed with fear, resisting the shift, despite clear indications telling them it's time to change. In 1917, a group of people performed an experiment that forever changed the way that we earned a living. The world today is facing another huge problem. We're facing a shortage of our own. Not a shortage of factory workers or consumers. The world has enough of those. We have a shortage today of dreamers and connectors.
All right. So hopefully you guys were able to hear at least some of that, but it really has a lot to do with the reason why we're really driving home this omni-channel marketing and distribution system versus just typical direct selling. We're talking about evolution, we're talking about innovation and change. When we stop and we look at companies just like Uber, for example, it's a great example of innovative or disruptive technology. You stop and look at companies like Uber, valued over $70 billion, and they simply own a technology. They own a platform that connects a client with a service. And it's really about, and that's what that video is about, if you guys were able to hear some of the audio, about how the future of our economy is moving in a direction where those that will be most heavily rewarded are the connectors. Individuals connecting either individuals with individuals, individuals with businesses, individuals with products, so on and so forth. And that's what the omni-channel system's all about. And in every way, shape, and form, we're taking and leveraging e-commerce, social media, the important role that it plays, as well as traditional advertising, and bringing it home into rev share program where all of our pioneering distributors and associates can benefit from it. That's really the hallmark of the Activz opportunity, and one of the key differentiators that will put us at the forefront of these growing changes and trends. You cannot ignore the role that e-commerce plays and expect to continue to compete in this global interconnected economy. You can't ignore the role that social media, I mean, for crying out loud, we have individuals, we have young kids coming out of high school, not going and pursuing a higher education in college. We're jumping on, becoming social media experts, jumping on and creating YouTube videos, making literally hundreds of thousands of dollars from advertising, promotion, and so forth on their YouTube channels because they recognize this. And it's all about interconnectivity. And so I can shoot that video out later so everybody can hear it better. It sounds obviously a lot better live, but it is the hallmark and really what sits at the forefront of what makes Activz not only unique, but the opportunity of the 21st century, while so many other companies and opportunities out there ignoring these changes happening around us, right? So with that said, I'm not going to get into great detail on the financial opportunity side, but just so you guys know, we have weekly bonus. We have a weekly bonuses, monthly bonuses that put money into your pocket right away, give you an ROI on your investment out of the gates. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the call for tonight with this quote by Peter Drucker. The best way to predict your future is to take control of it and literally create it.